Namaste, and welcome to the fifth in the series of classes in the Introduction to Iyengar Yoga with me, Sarah Agelasto. Today we'll be concentrating on the shoulder blades, those triangular shaped bones on the back body that are connected to your arms and your back. And we'll be moving through the poses, some that we've done before, and we'll be adding some new ones in, and we'll be exploring our shoulder blades. So we'll start today in Sukhasana, easy pose. Start with your right shin crossed in front of your left. The shins are crossed in the center line. Sit comfortably on one or two blankets, so that the knees are in line with the hips or slightly lower. The feet are a little bit forward towards your knees, as opposed to tucked back towards your hips. The hands, to begin, can rest on the thighs. See that you're seated evenly on your sit bones, that the side body lifts up. The shoulders roll back and away from the ears. And we'll do again like we did last week, where we'll hold our hands against the front of our knees, pull our hands against the front of the knees, and roll the shoulders back. And in this position, you might be able to feel the shoulder blades, particularly the inner edge of the shoulder blades, moving deeply into the back. Maintain that lift in your chest as you release the hands back towards the thighs. Keep the shoulders moving back, the outer shoulders moving back, the inner shoulder blades moving in. The back of the neck is long. The throat, the front of the neck is soft. The cheekbones and jaw are soft. And we'll close our eyes for just a moment, settling into this space and time, noticing how the body feels in this shape. Is there a sense of ease and lightness in the pose? And then gently open your eyes. So we'll come to standing. You can move your blankets behind you, out of the way, off your mat. And in addition to the blankets, you'll also need a couple of blocks, one or two. If you have two, great. You'll need a strap. And if you found that you needed a wedge for a couple of the poses last week, grab your wedge, which can also be a rolled up sticky mat or a blanket if you don't have a wedge. And we'll start in Tadasana, mountain pose. So we'll stand with the feet together, big toes touching. Lift and spread your toes, creating a wide base with the feet. Standing steadily on the feet, balancing your weight, inner and outer edges of the feet, front to back. Take your weight a little bit more towards the heels as you lift up on your kneecaps and lift up on the fronts of the thighs. The tops of the buttocks lengthen down towards the floor. The center of the chest lifts. The outer shoulders roll back and away. And again, you might feel the inner shoulder blades moving into the back as you reach the arms down by the sides of the waist, lengthening the back of the neck, reaching out through the crown of the head. Tadasana. We'll practice Urdhva Hastasana, or upward hands pose. So we'll take the arms forward. Remember to externally rotate the upper arms as you reach the arms forward and draw the arms back into their shoulder sockets. And then inhale and take the arms overhead. Stretching the arms, stretching the elbows, using the arms to lengthen the sides of the body. And with the arms reaching up, Can you take your arms just slightly back behind the ears and notice if you feel, again, those shoulder blades moving deeply into the back. Again, remembering to keep the arms stretched straight. If you need to take your arms a little bit wider in order to do that, you can do that. Otherwise, the arms by the ears. Inhale and exhale, lower the arms down by the sides of the waist. Urdhva Baranguli Asana, or upward bound fingers pose, will interlace the fingers, the right thumb and forefinger on top, as you press your palms forward, pressing evenly the little finger side and the forefinger side. So the palms are pressed evenly away from you as you draw the arm bones back towards your body, back towards the shoulder sockets. And then maintaining the balanced weight on your feet, inhale and take the arms overhead. Again, the little finger and forefinger sides of the hand should be pressing evenly up towards the ceiling as you stretch the arms, stretch the elbows, stretch the sides of the body. And again, with the arms stretched overhead, can you take the arms just slightly back behind the ears, moving the inner shoulder blades deeper into the back. And then take an inhale and exhale, lower your arms, bend the elbows, release the hands, and we'll change the interlace of the hands so the left thumb and forefinger on top. Press the palms forward. Again, forefinger and little finger pressing evenly on the sides of the palms as they move towards the wall in front of you. Stretch the elbows, draw the arms back into the shoulders as you inhale and take the arms overhead. The forefinger and pinky side of the palms reach up towards the ceiling as you stretch the elbows, stretch the arms, stretch the side body, and then can you, without straining in the throat and the face, take the arms slightly back behind your ears, moving those shoulder blades more deeply into the back. Good, and then inhale, exhale, lower the arms, bend the elbows, and release the hands. We'll take the hands overhead one more time in a new pose called Urdhva Asana. So we've done Asana in the front of our chest previously. And now we'll take the arms overhead in that position. So we'll reach the arms forward just like we do in Urdhva Hastasana and stretch the arms overhead. Now again, if your elbows are bent and you have your arms wide, this may be as far as you come in this pose. Otherwise, stretch your arms straight, continue to stretch your arms straight as you reach the arms up towards the ceiling and begin to bring the palms towards one another in Urdhva Asana. So the palms press evenly as they stretch up towards the ceiling, stretching the elbows, stretching the armpits, stretching the side body. Inhale and exhale, lower the arms back down by your sides. Urdhva Asana. We'll include that pose in our next pose, which is a balancing pose called Virasana. We've done this pose both at the wall and away from the wall. So if you need to use the wall for support in this pose, you can move towards the wall. Otherwise, we'll practice it in the middle of the room. So we'll stand evenly on our feet, find our ground, gaze forward towards something in front of you that's not moving so you can help to maintain your balance. And then we'll take the weight onto the left leg, bend the right knee, and take the foot, again, either below the knee or above the knee, but not on the knee. So the foot presses against the left thigh presses against the foot to help maintain that connection and steadiness. The standing leg is in Tadasana. The right knee extends out towards the right, and then you can take your hands into Namaste Asana. pressing the palms and rolling the outer shoulders back as you draw those inner shoulder blades into the body. And then reach the arms up overhead into Urdhva Namaskar. So the palms are together, the elbows are stretched straight. Again, if your elbows are bending, take the arms into Urdhva Hastasana. Otherwise, reach up through the arms and begin to take the palms closer towards one another. To come out, take the hands down in front of the chest, release the foot, back to Tadasana, and release the hands. Reestablish your Tadasana. Reestablish your gaze in front of you. And then take the weight into your right leg, bend the left knee, and place the sole of the foot, toes down, either on the calf or above the knee onto the top of the thigh. So the toes point down, the foot is in the center of the right thigh. The right thigh presses towards the foot and the foot presses towards the thigh to create stability. The inner groin of the left leg reaches out towards the inner knee, and the inner knee draws back towards the outer left hip, creating again a stability in the bent leg and the hips. We'll take the hands into Namaskar in front of our hearts, rolling the shoulders back, lifting the center of the chest, moving the shoulder blades deeply into the back, and then reach the arms up overhead into Urdhva Namaskar. Stretch the elbows, stretch the fingers, stretch the sides of the body, and use the arms to help create a counterbalance in this balancing pose. And then lower the arms back to Namaskar in front of the heart. Release the foot back to Tadasana and release the hands and stand in Tadasana. The shoulders move back, the outer shoulders move back, the inner shoulder blades move into the back and lift the chest. We'll review some of our standing poses that we've practiced in previous weeks, again with an emphasis on the shoulder blades. So we'll start with Lutetia Trikanasana. Inhale the fingertips up, step or hop, arms and legs wide apart. And as you stand here in Utthita Hasta Padasana, stretch from the center of the chest across the collarbones, across the sides of the chest, and out through the arms. Taking the arms just slightly back, and see if you can feel how that takes the shoulder blades a little bit deeper into the back and helps lift the chest. Maintain that as you externally rotate the right foot, right leg and foot. Turn the back foot in slightly. Continue to reach the arms and move the shoulder blades into the back as you inhale and exhale, extending out over the right leg, and then placing your hand either onto your shin or onto a block. So the legs are firm, the kneecaps and thighs are lifted, and the center of the chest lifts and extends towards your head. The arms spread as you move those shoulder blades deeply into your back, and that helps to extend, lift the sternum and extend the chest towards the crown of your head. And then press the feet and inhale, come back up. We'll turn the feet back to parallel and reestablish that connection as you spread from the center of the chest across the chest, out through the arms, and move the arms just slightly back as you move the shoulder blades deeply into the back. Feel that connection of the shoulder blades into the back. We'll externally rotate the left leg and foot. Turn the back foot in slightly. Maintain that extension of the arms and the lift of the chest. As you inhale and exhale, reach out over the left leg, placing your hand again on the shin or on your block. Feel the weight evenly on the feet as you draw up on your kneecaps, draw up on your thighs. Lengthen the sides of the body as you move the shoulder blades deeply into the back and stretch the chest towards the crown of the head. The arms spread and the shoulder blades move deeply into the back. You can take your gaze here up towards your right hand or just maintain the gaze forward. And then we'll press our feet and inhale, come back up. Parshva Hasta Padottanasana. And then turn the feet into Utthita Hasta Padottanasana. And then step or hop the arms and legs back to Tadasana. Reestablish yourself in Tadasana. Lift and spread your toes. Lift up on the kneecaps. Move the shoulders back and move the shoulder blades into the back. And we'll practice Virasana 2 or Warrior 2 position. So we'll inhale the fingertips up. Step or hop the arms and legs wide apart. And then again, spread the arms from the center of the chest out and slightly back behind you. Moving those shoulder blades deeply into the back and lifting the chest. We'll turn the right leg and foot out. We'll turn the back foot in slightly. Keeping the arms spread, keeping the shoulder blades moving into the back. Press the outer left foot firmly into the sticky mat. And then from there, inhale and exhale and bend the right knee. So the knee comes over the ankle. The legs are steady, the back leg is stretched straight, the right knee is deeply bent, the arms are stretched from the shoulders, and you can take the arms just slightly back, moving the shoulder blades into the back and lifting the chest, gazing out over your right fingertips. And then straighten the right leg, turn the feet back to Utthita Hasta Padottanasana, and then turn the left leg and foot out. The back foot in slightly. Again, spread the arms, spread the chest, move the shoulder blades into the back and lift the chest as you inhale and exhale from the outer edge of the right foot, bend the left knee. So the knee comes deeply over the left ankle. The torso is upright. Spread the arms from the chest, move the shoulder blades into the back and lift the chest as you gaze out over your left fingertips. And then straighten the left leg, turn the feet, and step or hop back to Tadasana. Again, reestablishing your Tadasana, balancing the weight on the feet, lifting up on the kneecaps and the front thighs. Roll the shoulders back and away as you move the shoulder blades into the back and lift the chest. Now we'll practice Utthita Konasana or extended side angle pose, which as you may remember is somewhat of a combination between the previous two poses. We'll inhale the fingertips up, step or hop, arms and legs wide apart. We'll turn the right leg and foot out, the back foot in slightly, spreading the arms and lifting the chest as you move the shoulder blades deeply into the back. From the outer edge of the left foot, we'll bend the right knee deeply and then extend out over the right leg as you place your right hand onto a block. You can stretch the left arm up from the other shoulder so you can again access that sensation of spreading the chest as you move the shoulder blades deeply into the back. And then externally rotate the left arm as you reach the left arm overhead by the ear. So there's a long line of energy from the outer edge of that left foot across the leg, across the hip, across the side body as you reach out through the left fingertips. The arms are externally rotated, which also helps to move the shoulder blades deeply into the back. And then press the feet, inhale, come back up to standing, turn the feet to parallel, spread the arms, spread the chest, move the shoulder blades into the back and lift the chest. As you turn the left leg and foot out, the back foot in slightly, and press firmly the outer edge of the right foot, stretching up on that right knee and right thigh. Inhale, and from there, bend the left knee. So take the knee over the ankle, deeply bend the left knee, and then inhale and exhale, reach out over the left leg, place your hand onto a block, and then externally rotating the arms, spread from the chest to lengthen the center of the chest towards the crown of the head. So move the shoulder blades into the back and lift the chest. And then externally rotate your right arm and take that arm overhead by the ear. Again, a long line of energy from the outer edge of the right foot across the leg, across the side body, and out through the fingertips. Both arms are externally rotated, moving the shoulder blades into the back as you lengthen the center of the chest towards the crown of the head. And then inhale, come back up, turn the feet, and step or hop back to Tadasana. Lift and spread your toes, lift up on the kneecaps, lengthen the buttocks down towards the floor, lift the center of the chest as you roll the shoulders back and move the shoulder blades into the back. We'll practice Utkatasana. We introduced this pose last week. Utkatasana is fierce pose. So we practiced the pose last week with the feet apart. You can do that here. You can practice with the feet apart, or you can take the feet together into the classic position. So lift and spread your feet, lift up on your kneecaps, roll the shoulders back and lift the chest. And then reach the arms forward, externally rotating the arms, and inhale, take the arms overhead by the ears. See if you can't move the arms just slightly back behind the ears again, helping to move those shoulder blades into the back and keeping the chest lifted. As you inhale and exhale, bend the knees, taking the outer hips down, the buttocks down towards the floor, but maintaining the lift in the chest and the shoulder blades moving into the back as you come down into Utkatasana. And then straighten the legs and lower the arms. And we'll demonstrate, or we'll practice that pose one more time from the side, or I'll demonstrate it from the side so that you can see. The feet are together, the chest is lifted, the shoulders are back. Reach the arms forward, externally rotate the arms as you inhale and take the arms overhead. And then continuing to stretch the arms and stretch the side body, can you take the arms just slightly further back behind the ears, moving those shoulder blades more deeply into the back. And then maintaining that as you keep the chest lifted, bend the knees and take the buttocks down and back as if you were going to sit into a chair. The outer hips move down, the tops of the thighs move down, and the chest stays lifted. And then straighten the legs and lower the arms. Good. We will need our wedge for the next couple of poses, and we'll need 2 blocks. So I'll introduce a new pose. Previously, we've done fingertips on the wall, So that's a variation of Ardha Uttanasana, or half intense stretch pose. So now we'll practice the pose without the wall, but with the blocks. So we'll stand with the feet hip width apart and parallel, drawing up on the thighs, drawing up on the kneecaps, lifting the chest. The hands are on the waist. This will help to roll the shoulders back, moving the elbows back, and again, you'll feel the inner shoulder blades moving into the back. So we'll roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. So it's as if you're going to do a standing back bend. You're lifting up so much, and then inhale and exhale and come forward to halfway down to the floor. And then place your hands underneath your shoulders onto blocks. You want the blocks high enough that you can keep the arms straight, and coming onto your fingertips, move the shoulders back and away and move the shoulder blades into the back. So we want to create that concave spine again in Ardha Uttanasana. So the outer shoulders back, inner shoulder blades in, and the chest forward towards the wall in front of you. The back of the neck can be long as you gaze forward. We don't want to strain the back of the neck. We don't want to strain the eyes. So just gaze forward, but lengthen the back of the neck. And then exhale your hands to your hips, and inhale, come back up. We can practice the pose with the feet together. So we'll step the feet together into the more classical position. The hands are on the waist, the shoulders are back, the shoulder blades move in, and again, move those shoulder blades into the back, lifting the chest until you're almost going into a back bend. As you inhale and exhale, come forward, placing your hands underneath your shoulders, coming onto your fingertips. There's not any weight in the hands. The weight is in the legs. Press the hands down, roll the shoulders back, and move the shoulder blades into the back, lengthening the sides of the waist forward, lengthening the chest forward. And then keeping the hips over the heels, exhale your hands to your waist, and inhale, come back up to Tadasana. We'll move from here into Parsvottanasana, or intense stretch to the side, or intense stretch of the sides of the body, like we did last week. So you'll use blocks as needed. You may have a wedge behind you to place your heel on. You may not need that. And stand in the center of your mat. Take your hands on your waist. We'll step the right leg forward and the left leg back. Maintain the heel of the front foot in line with the arch of the back foot. The outer left foot presses into the sticky mat or wedge and draws that left hip forward. The inner right foot stretches or presses into the floor or sticky mat and draws that right hip back. So the pelvis is squaring towards the wall in front of you. The legs are stretched straight. The shoulders move back and away from the ears, the elbows back. Again, moving the shoulder blades deeply into the back, lifting the chest so much that you come into almost a back bend. As you inhale and exhale, come forward over your right leg and place your hands underneath your shoulders on your blocks. The fingertips press down, the shoulders roll back, and the shoulder blades move into the back. Again, creating a concave spine as you maintain the balance in the pelvis, front to back, side to side, and the legs continue to be stretched straight. And then exhale your hands to your waist. Inhale, come up. And step the left leg forward towards the center of the mat and the right leg back to the center of the mat. And then we'll step the left leg forward, in between the blocks, and the right leg back onto the wedge or onto the floor. Pressing the outer right heel into the floor, drawing up on the kneecap, drawing up on the thigh, and rolling that right hip forward. And then pressing into the inner edge of the left foot, drawing that left hip back. The shoulders roll back. The shoulder blades move into the back to help lift the chest, coming almost into a back bend as you gaze up towards the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, come forward, keeping the pelvis balanced, left to right, front to back, and place your hands down onto your blocks. Press the hands down, roll the shoulders back, move the shoulder blades into the back and lift the chest. The right hip moves forward, the left hip moves back. Both sides of the waist are extended evenly forward towards your armpits as you reach the center of the chest towards the wall in front of you. The back of the neck is long. The gaze is soft towards the floor in front of you. And then exhale, the hands to the waist. Inhale, come back up and step the right leg forward and the left leg back and stand in Tadasana. The next pose we'll practice is Virasana 1. Again, you may need a wedge. You will not need your blocks. So let's put those to the side. Take your hands on your waist. Step the right leg forward and the left leg back. So this is Virasana 1 or Warrior 1 position. Again, squaring the hips by pressing the inner right foot to take that right hip back. The outer left heel to take that left hip forward, lengthen the tops of the buttocks down towards the floor, roll the shoulders back, move the shoulder blades into the back to lift the chest. Maintain that as you bend the right knee so that the knee comes deeply bent and the knee is out over the ankle, the right ankle. Not forward of the ankle and not behind the ankle. The back leg stretches straight, ideally onto the wedge or the floor as the pelvis moves towards the wall in front of you. The shoulders roll back, the shoulder blades move into the back, the chest lifts as if you were going to come into a back bend, and then reach the arms forward, externally rotating the arms, and take the arms overhead by the ears. Stretching the arms straight, using the arms to lengthen the side body, can you then take the arms slightly back behind the ears, moving the shoulder blades into the back and lifting the chest. And then inhale and straighten the right leg. Exhale, lower the arms. Step the left leg forward and the right leg back. And stand in Tadasana. Taking your hands on your waist, we'll practice the other side. So we'll step the left leg forward and the right leg back. The inner left foot presses to take that left hip back. The outer right heel presses to take that right hip forward. Both sides of the waist are lifted evenly as you exhale, the shoulders away from the ears, moving the shoulder blades into the back deeply, lifting the chest, maintaining that as you keep the right leg stretching straight, heel down towards the wedge, towards the floor. Take the knee out over the left ankle. So there's a deep bend in the left knee. As the shoulders are back, the chest is lifted, the shoulder blades move into the back as if you were going to do a back bend with the chest. Maintain that as you reach the arms forward. Externally rotate the arms and take the arms overhead by the ears. Stretching the arms, using the arms to help lift the body. And then can you take the arms just slightly behind the ears, moving those shoulder blades more deeply into the back, stretching the sides of the body. And then inhale and straighten the left leg. Exhale and lower the arms. And step the right leg forward and the left leg back to Tadasana. I'd like to do one more standing pose called Prasarita Padottanasana. I'll need to turn my sticky mat in this pose, so we'll see if we can get this shot from the side. So Prasarita Padottanasana. Prasarita is extended. Padottanasana is, pada is foot, and ut again is intense. So intense spread of the legs wide. So Prasarita is extended, pada is foot, and ut is intense. So we're spreading the legs wide intensely. So I'd like for you to practice this pose towards the back of your mat so that you can see where your legs are and you may be able to see where your hips are with regards to how they are in line with your legs. So we'll start with the hands on the waist and we'll step or hop our legs wide apart. So legs wide apart. First, see that your heels are in line with the back of the mat. The feet are parallel. They're going to remain parallel. I want you to feel that the inner and outer edges of the feet are pressing evenly towards the floor. As you draw up on the knees, draw up on the thighs. The hands are on the waist. The shoulders roll back and away. Again, moving those shoulder blades so much into the back, it's as if you're coming into a back bend. Your gaze can be up towards the ceiling without straining the back of the neck. So just up towards the ceiling slightly. And then maintain that lift in the chest. You can take your gaze back forward as you inhale and exhale, come forward towards your hands. So your hands are underneath your shoulders. Again, we want to keep the hips over the ankles. So resist the temptation to swing the hips back, but keep the hips in line with the feet, the hands underneath the shoulders. And again, without putting a lot of weight into your hands, press the hands down, move the shoulders back, and move the shoulder blades deeply into the back. So you're in that concave position of the shoulder blades moving into the back and the chest moving forward. The gaze is forward towards the floor, the back of the neck is long. And again, if you feel like your back is rounding in this position, come up onto your blocks. So you've got 3 levels of blocks you can come up onto so that you can create that concavity in the spine. And then maintaining the weight on the feet, again, resisting the temptation to swing your hips back, take your hands onto your waist and stretch your chest forward as you inhale and come back up. And then step or hop the feet back to Tadasana. All right, let's come down to some of our seated positions. So the first one is Virasana, or hero's pose. So you can place a blanket down onto your sticky mat if you need to create a little padding for your shins and knees. If you've got a thick enough sticky mat, you might not need that. I'm going to use a block. Remember, if you don't need that much height, you can fold one of your blankets lengthwise and sit on the blanket this way. So, Virasana, we'll kneel down with the knees together and the feet apart. We'll take our hands behind our knees, pulling some of the flesh of the calves slightly back and away, creating space behind the knees as you sit yourself down onto your support. So both sit bones are on your support. And there shouldn't be any pain in the knees. Hold the fronts of the thighs, similar to how we did in Sukhasana, and pull the hands against the knees or the tops of the thighs to roll the shoulders back and move the shoulder blades into the back. Again, lifting the chest, moving the shoulder blades into the back, and keeping that chest lifted and spine long. And then we'll interlace our fingers, Urdhva Asana, right thumb and forefinger on top. Press the palms forward evenly, thumb and little finger side of the palms, pressing evenly away. Draw the arms into the shoulders, drawing the shoulder blades into the back and lifting the chest. Reach the arms overhead, stretching the arms by the ears. Inhale and exhale. Lower the arms, bend the elbows. Change the interlace so the left thumb and forefinger are on top. Press the palms forward. Press the thumb side and pinky side evenly away from you as you draw the arms into the shoulders, moving the shoulder blades into the back and lifting the chest. And then inhale and take the arms overhead by the ears. Inhale, exhale, lower the arms, bend the elbows, and release the hands. We'll come forward onto our hands and knees and remove the block from behind you. Cross the ankles behind you, take your hands back and move the buttocks over the crossed ankles as you sit in Tadasana. Again, you might need a support under your spine, under your sit bones if your spine is rounding backwards or the knees are bent. So sit up on support. Take the hands by the sides of the waist. Roll the shoulders backwards. Move the shoulder blades into the back as you press the heels of the hands down towards the floor, lifting the chest. Press the tops of the thighs down as you reach out through the inner line of the legs. The shoulders are back, the chest is lifted, the legs are strong, the backs of the knees are open. Maintain that as you release the hands and reach the arms forward, externally rotating the arms, and inhale, take the arms overhead. Once again, as you reach the arms by the sides of the waist, and use that to help lengthen the sides of the body. Take the arms slightly back behind your ears and move the shoulder blades more deeply into the back as you lift your chest. Inhale and exhale the arms back down. Urdhva Hasta Dandasana. And then we'll come down onto our backs and do a couple of poses on our backs. Urdhva Prasarita Padottanasana, or upward extended feet pose. We've practiced this pose before and we'll add on to it. So come down onto your back. If you need some support under your hands, as we'll take our arms overhead, you can take a blanket or two to support your arms. Otherwise, make sure you don't have anything behind you, if you can take your arms all the way down to the floor. And we'll start with our hands by the sides of the waist. On these lying down positions, we'll start by moving the outer shoulders down to the floor, moving the shoulder blades into the back and starting with the chest lifted. The arms reach by the sides of the waist, and then we'll draw our knees up to 90 degrees and reach our legs up to the ceiling into a 90-degree L shape. It's as if we're in Tadasana, but on our backs. So reach out through the inner line of the legs, reach the backs of the knees open as you press the thighs away from you, and reach the arms to lift the chest. And then bend the knees and place the feet on the floor. Again, if that's too much on your back or your abdomen or your legs, you can place a strap around your feet to do the pose. If that pose was okay, we'll move on to the next stage. We'll take the knees up to 90 degrees and reaching out through the inner line of the legs, stretch the legs up to 90 degrees as you draw the abdomen down towards the floor. The outer shoulders move down, the inner shoulder blades move into the back, and then maintaining the legs at 90 degrees, reach the arms overhead by the ears. Using the arms to lengthen the sides of the waist. Stretch out through the feet and open up the backs of the knees as you press the thighs away from you. And then bend the knees, place the feet on the floor, and lower the arms back down by the sides of the waist. So we've got a couple different variations here. We have the strap around the feet. We have the legs up without a strap. We have the arms overhead by the ears. And now we'll add in one more variation. Again, you can stop at any of the previous variations if those were already challenging enough. So outer shoulders down, shoulder blades into the back, chest is lifted. Reach the arms first by the sides of the waist as you draw the knees up to 90 degrees and then stretch the legs up to the ceiling at 90 degrees. And then maintaining that, take the arms overhead by the ears, reaching the arms to lengthen the sides of the body. And then we'll take the legs to 45 degrees. So keeping the backs of the legs long, stretching out through the feet, lifting up on the thighs, we'll lower the legs to 45 degrees. Abdomen towards the spine. Arms stretch overhead as a counterbalance. And then we'll take the legs back up to 90. Inhale, exhale, lower the arms, and bend the knees and place the feet on the floor. We'll add one more new pose today called Padottanasana, or four-footed pose. So you've heard Pada a number of times. Pada is feet, and Chatush is a variation of the word four in Sanskrit. So four-footed pose. We'll practice this pose with and without a strap. So we'll start with the feet hip distance and parallel. And to get that distance, you'll take your feet in towards your hips as close as they'll come towards your buttocks. Take the feet together to start, and then separate the heels, keeping the toes together, and then keeping the heels where they are, separate the toes. So that should be about hip width and parallel. And then we'll press the upper arms, releasing the outer shoulders down to the floor and moving the shoulder blades into the back. We'll start with the arms bent. We'll press the upper arms down to the floor as we press the feet into the floor and lift the hips up towards the ceiling. So pressing the upper arms down, lift the hips up to the ceiling as much as possible. The knees stay hip width, and the arms press down to lift the chest. And then we'll lengthen our tailbone down towards our heels and come back down onto our backs. Just going to move this over to the side. So reestablish your feet. The feet should be pressing evenly, inner and outer edges of the feet. The knees stay hip distance, so there's a tendency to want the knees to come wide, but you'll keep the knees at hip distance apart. And this time, we'll stretch our arms down towards our feet, because ultimately that's where our hands are going, is in front of our ankles. So we'll reach the arms, move the shoulder blades down, move the shoulder blades into the back, and still pressing the arms down, press the feet and lift the hips. Lift the hips as much as you can, and then we'll take our weight onto our left shoulder, externally rotate the right arm, and take the outer right shoulder more down to the floor. And then we'll take our weight onto the right arm and externally rotate the left arm so that that left shoulder comes further down to the floor. And then, can you press the hips? Can you lift the chest even more into Chatush Padasana? So the chest comes towards the chin. And then lengthen the buttocks down towards the heels as you lower yourself down to the floor. And we'll practice that pose one more time with a strap around the ankles. So we'll place the strap around the fronts of our ankles. Find again that the feet are hip distance and parallel. If you need to, take the feet together again, separate the heels, and then separate the toes to get a good distance. Then hold on to the two ends of the strap around the fronts of the ankles. Move the outer shoulders down and move the shoulder blades into the back while you're on the ground. And then maintain that as you press your feet and lift your hips. So now you have something to hold on to, which will help lift your chest. But we'll do again, holding onto the strap, lean onto the left arm and externally rotate the right arm down. And then lean onto the right arm and externally rotate the left shoulder down. Press the feet and lift the hips. Pull the strap to help lift the chest, moving the shoulder blades deeper into the back towards the chin. So lift your chest towards the chin. And then lengthen the buttocks towards the heels as you lower yourself back down to the floor. We'll move our strap out of the way and roll over onto our sides. And we'll practice one more pose before we lie down into Shavasana. So moving slowly, come up, and we'll come back into Adho Mukha Virasana. So the toes together, the knees apart, downward facing hero's pose. Reach the arms overhead by the ears and place the crown of the head on the floor. So in this pose, stretch the fingers, press the roots of the fingers onto the sticky mat, move the outer arms in, externally rotating the arms as you move the shoulder blades into the back. And then we'll come onto all fours, taking the feet apart and the knees underneath the hips, but maintaining the distance of the hands and the feet. And then reestablish the hands. So stretch the fingers. See that all the fingers are pressing evenly down into your sticky mat as you press the roots of the fingers down into the sticky mat. And then externally rotate the upper arms, moving the shoulder blades deeply into the back, and see how that helps to lift the chest. Maintain that. We'll turn the toes under and lift the hips, but you can keep your knees bent to begin as you press the arms, pressing the chest towards the legs, moving those shoulder blades into the back by stretching the arms overhead, and then stretch the heels down towards the floor. So continue to move the outer upper arms in, moving the shoulder blades into the back and pressing your chest towards your legs. As you press the thighs back and press the heels down towards the floor. And then release, bending your knees, taking yourself back into Adho Mukha Virasana, and we'll practice that one more time. So start here by stretching the fingers forward. Press the roots of the fingers down into the floor, drawing the outer arms in. Keeping the hands pressing down onto the sticky mat, come up onto all fours, separate the feet, bring the knees to hip distance, and then reestablish the hands. So stretch the fingers evenly onto the floor, stretch the roots of the fingers evenly onto the floor, press the palms, externally rotate the arms, and move the outer shoulders back and the shoulder blades into the back. Maintain that as you turn the toes underneath. Press the hands, lengthen the arms as you reach the hips up towards the ceiling. Draw the outer arms in as you move the shoulder blades into the back and press the chest towards the legs. And then stretch the heels down towards the floor. So the arms stretch straight, the legs stretch straight. The heels reach down towards the floor as you open the backs of the knees and press the thighs back away from you. And then bend the knees and come down. And then come up, and we'll open up one of our blankets onto our sticky mat. Stretch the blanket out onto your sticky mat so there's not any wrinkles or rolls. You can use a blanket for your head if you'd like. And then we'll sit down in the center of our blanket. We'll lie down, seeing that we're in the center of our sticky mat as we stretch our legs down onto the blanket. And then lay the back down onto the floor. You can lengthen the back of the neck as you place your head and neck onto your blankets. You can relax the legs apart. And then one more time, externally rotating your arms, turning the palms up, moving the outer shoulders down and the shoulder blades into the back, keeping a sense of lift and spreading in the chest, even in corpse pose. The back of the neck is long. The eyes can rest closed. And you can begin to scan your body, mentally relaxing each part of the body as you move up from the feet to the shins and calves, to the knees and thighs, the fronts of the thighs and the backs of the thighs, the buttocks, the pelvis, the torso, the abdomen, and the back body, the shoulders, the upper arms, the forearms, the palms and hands as the palms relax up towards the ceiling. The thumb side of the hands moving down towards the floor. The back of the neck is relaxed. The throat is relaxed and soft. The jaw is relaxed. The cheeks are relaxed. The tongue is relaxed. the eyes and the eyelids are rested as the eyes recede back towards the back of the brain, the back of the skull. The temples and forehead relax. The crown of the head relaxes. Everything relaxes and spreads onto your blanket. We'll rest in a few moments of silence in Shavasana, corpse pose. And remember, you can take as much time in this pose as you can, as long as you stay present and connected to your breath. Maintain that connection to your breath as you bend your elbows and rest your hands on your abdomen. And then carefully bend your knees and place the soles of the feet on the floor. And pause there. And then when you're ready, you can roll over onto your right side. And then carefully press yourself up to a comfortable seated position, either with or without a blanket. Just taking a moment to acknowledge all that your body has done for you in this class today. And noticing if there are any changes in the way that your body feels from the beginning and the end of the class. And we'll take our hands in Namaskar in front of our hearts, pressing the palms evenly into one another. As you press the palms, the shoulders move back, the shoulder blades move into the back. One more time. And maintaining that lift of the chest, bow your head towards your hands, acknowledging the light that exists within each one of us. Namaste. You can lift your head, release your hands, carefully open your eyes. Thank you all for being here today. We'll see you next time.